Hey everyone, good evening. Good evening, everyone. It is so great to see everybody tonight. Those that are on, if you are watching via Facebook, via Instagram, listen, I am so excited that you are on, y'all, tonight. We are in for a treat. Let me I got a couple of different things going on tonight because I want to make sure I get everybody's comments and all of those great things. Okay, let me turn that down. All right. All right. So trying to make sure Miss T, hello, darling. Y'all, tonight is gonna be really, really good. Really good. Let me make sure this is the right one that I can actually see the comments. Uh, split view. Let's see. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let's see. Y'all give me a minute. Y'all know I got to be trying to get on here and get stuff together. Hey, cousin. Hey, cousin. Y'all stay tuned. I need to get it off here because it's on the other one. Okay. So I got my tech guy is helping. So thank y'all for tuning in. I believe this is episode 4 of The Naked Truth. And yes, that is it. Let me get these other ones. We got to figure out how to get these off of here too.
That's on your. That's Don't forget your announcements.
Yes, I am. I don't know why. So if they, sorry, people are still trying to log on. So if you are watching, hey, mama, y'all, this is going to be a great episode. Great episode. So let me give my church announcements. First of all, I'm sorry, let me pray. Father God, we just want to thank you and praise you for this night. God, we thank you that even in the midst of the storm and the rain outside, God, we thank you for allowing us to come together via social media just to talk about things that we may be embarrassed about, that we may not be comfortable with talking about, but God coming forth and just putting forth the naked truth, whatever that may be in our lives. God, I ask that whatever we talk about tonight, may it touch someone, may it help someone to start to unravel those things that they need to heal from. God, we just thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So, hey, my sister's on, everybody's on, y'all. This is going to be so good. Okay, so let me give my church announcements real quick. So, we do have, so this year, the retreat, Step in Her Truth retreat. Y'all listen. It is going to be amazing. If you have not reached out, if you have not secured your spot, if you are interested and want to know how to secure your spot, you guys definitely reach out. Let me know if you are interested. The preparation that is going into this retreat, y'all, I have just been emotional all day with just how God allows you to get a glimpse of your vision of giving birth to something that is so great, and then it starts to happen and you're just like, wow. So I'm in that wow stage because it is truly phenomenal. I'm just so excited about it. So definitely, if you are interested, family, friends, if you know somebody that's interested, please reach out to me. I still have spots available. I would love to serve. This is not just, ladies getting together and we not doing nothing. No, this is servanthood. This is showing women that there is still a sisterhood that is there for us. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, thank you for joining. There are still sisters and there are still women who are not in competition with one another, but who are there to uplift, to love on, to serve. And that is exactly what this retreat is all about. It's going to be food, fun. It is all inclusive. So only thing you're bringing is an open heart, open arms to receive everything that God has in store. So let me know if anyone is interested. I think I have about 6 spots left. Also, next year, It is pageant time. So if you are interested in competing, regardless of the age, hey, Miss Marnay, if you are interested in competing, it is definitely pageant time. Reach out to me, or you can go to www.allworldbeauties.com. Do not think that you are too old or too young to compete. Do not think that just because you were not born into pageantry that you cannot compete, because let me tell you, my first time competing, I won, and then I gained another title. I actually have 3 titles under my belt. Hey, cousin Tavy. So definitely, if you are interested, if you have children that are interested, teenagers, let me know and I can get you connected and registered. I think that was all of my announcements. I think. So y'all, I had to go and fix me some coffee on this particular conversation today, because this is one that is truly, it needs to be talked about, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it. Okay, so today's topic, are y'all ready? Is it a trait or is it a trauma? Is it a trait or is it a trauma? So y'all know me, I like to give definitions because I want people to know exactly what it is we're talking about and what that looks like. I'm going to be looking over because I want to see the comments. I want to see who's on Facebook, who's on Instagram. I see everybody's comment. Please join in. You can comment. I'm going to see your comments. I'm going to address what you're saying, because this is not just a me talking. This is interaction. So if I hit a nerve, or if you need to say something about it, say it in the comments, and I'm going to repeat it out loud to everybody else if they can't, see those comments, or for those that are on different social media platforms. So is it a trait or is it a trauma? So the definition for trait, it says, it gave character traits. So these are behaviors, beliefs, and personality. So when we're growing up, you're in church, my great aunt, for my family, my great aunt, baby, we knew when Auntie Jonna May went to a church, because we knew what she did. We knew she if she caught the spirit, she spun around over here and she did this. So certain things we picked up on. When you're in church and you see those, you mimic other people's dance, you mimic other people's how they view church, how they view religion, and you pick up on those things, and then that follows you. Oh, they're Baptist. Oh, they're Pentecostal. Oh, they're this because they believe this. Oh, they're this because this is how they were brought up. Oh, this is the type of church that they were in. So we have those different belief traits. Then you have behavior traits. You ever, for those that are mothers, have you ever, you raise your children a certain way in the home, right? You ever let your kids go over someone else's house, and when they come back, they not acting like what they act like before they left your house, where you knew what they did, and then they picked up those other behaviors. Okay, well, that's how so-and-so act, but you're not gonna act like that in my house, so you better put that behavior right outside. So some behaviors are picked up. Hey, this is how we talk. This is the type of slang we say. This is the type of this we say. Hey, Whitney, how are you? This is the type of things we take along with us because of what we've seen, what we've been taught, what we have experienced. So those are traits. Personality. It can be a laughter. You can hear somebody's laugh and you're like, oh, I know who that is, because that's so-and-so, because that's how they are. Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. So we have those different types of traits. So you have behavior, beliefs, and then you have personality. And then it went on to say, it helps you to understand a person, whether it's personally or professionally. So professional traits. If you look at fast food, if you see the cows on the if you see the cows up on the billboards with the chickens or whatever, it got something to do with Chick-fil-A, right? If you see different brands, you see a check sign, you know that's Nike, just do it, because those are their traits. They have different things that they're known for. So those things run deep. We know those by their traits, right? So then we got an understanding of traits, right? So if you got an understanding of the traits, say hello in the chat, put a hand up, put some fire emojis, do something to let me know you understand what we're talking about when we talk about a trait: behavioral, beliefs, or personality traits, right? People even go as far as zodiac sign traits. Oh, we just love so hard. That means that we're Aquarius. And I don't know that. Oh Lord, and oh, she a crybaby. She must be a Cancer. Cancer's always crying. I'm so emotional all the time. Those are different traits that people have. They have them there, and that's that. So we got traits understood, right? But then we look at trauma. So the definition, when I Googled it, this is what it gave for trauma. It said emotional response to a terrible event like an accident, a crime, or a natural disaster, right? So I was like, okay. I remember when me and my sister was we were younger, we were in a really devastating accident where they said that we should not have walked away, that other accidents, multiple accidents, many accidents in this same exact place have occurred. And from my understanding, other people had not survived. So they were shocked to see 3 young Black girls surviving this accident, right? So yes, I can honestly say that a trait that I have is, it doesn't matter who's driving. I love my husband to death. And if he's driving, I usually do not sleep. Has nothing to do with his driving. But when I got into that accident, that trauma that was there, it will not allow me to go to sleep while somebody is driving. Nothing against my sister, nothing against any of that. But because that's what woke me up, was a traumatic event, it prevents me from being comfortable enough when someone is driving. Now, here's the other thing. I got on a plane and I used to be able to go to sleep. I could relax. I could do all these things. But then I had a traumatic experience of turbulence. So now when I get on a plane, I can't go to sleep. Quick funny story. I remember one time I was coming back from Florida when I was working there. And I really just wanted to sleep on my way back. I wanted to rest. I did not want to deal with people on the thing. Hey, thank you so much for joining on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for joining. I took, y'all don't call me crazy. Don't judge me at all. I took 2 Benadryls before I got on the plane because I noted that as soon as that plane took off, I was going to have me some really good sleep, because I know that when I'm home and I take one of those real tiny Benadryl little gold capsules, that I sleep so good for the night. So I took 2 on purpose. I did not go to sleep. I was up. My leg was shaking. My nerves was bad. It was no turbulence. It was a beautiful flight. As soon as the pilot said, "We are now getting ready to descend," the Benadryls kicked in. I was texting my husband saying, "I'm not going to make it off the plane. I need you to meet me at the baggage claim," because I felt all of that, because now I'm not in the air anymore. I can see land. I can see the buildings. I can see all of this. And now I had a sense of ease, but now I'm paying for it. So those are traumatic things. We look at the storm outside. I remember going through Hurricane Andrew and how devastating that rain was, to see things fly down the street and all of that. So all of those different types of traumatic events happening. So that was cute. That definition was real cute. So can I dig a little deeper when it talks about trauma? What about trauma of being molested? We like to, back in the day, families would what goes on in the house stays in the house. What goes on in our family stays in the family. So a lot of traumatic things happened to young kids that they have tried all of their life to band-aid and band-aid and band-aid and band-aid. It's like when I was in elementary school, my drama teacher, Miss Rossi, it's funny how God allows things to happen, y'all, because I don't think anything is a coincidence. It is amazing how Miss Rossi would not allow me to be in the background. However, she did teach me the importance of being behind the mask. I remember, and I still want this tattoo. I know my mom is on here and she's probably gonna tell me no, but I still want the tattoo of the laugh now, cry later drama mask. And I took a fascination to those at an early age. And it was because I dealt with so much trauma. Now being older, I look back and I see the laugh now is what you have to, that's the face you have to put on in front of people, in front of audiences, because everybody cannot understand what you are secretly going through. So that laugh now mask, sometimes it's not even real. It is the camouflage to keep from crying later. My tears were an embarrassment to what I was going through now. So I had to find laughter in things, and not realizing laughter is what kept me going. Laughter is what kept me pushing. Laughter is what kept me from losing my mind. Laughter is what kept me from breaking down, from just disappearing. When you little, you be like, I want to run away. And I think I even tried to at one point and packed a trash bag, and my great aunt sent me back around the corner to my grandma's house because her answer was absolutely not. But we don't understand. Sometimes we think it's just kids acting out. But how do we know that the acting out is not trauma? We're looking at it from, they just want attention. Yes, because something traumatic has happened and they don't know how to communicate trauma. And because we don't always know what trauma looks like, we put it under the trait category. She loud, she fast. No, she's not fast. Maybe she has been exposed to sexual behavior before her time, and that's all she knows. So I don't know if anybody else want to get personal, but I can. So being exposed to sexual behavior early, being around men at an early age, I felt feelings that I couldn't understand because I shouldn't have been feeling them at that age. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's not just acting out. Sometimes it's not just she fast. Sometimes is, hey, what happened to her? What happened to the smiling little girl who played with everybody to now this little girl who does not want to have anything to do with anything feminine? I remember being a feminine little girl. I remember I like to wear my little shorts. I remember my jelly shoes. I remember all these things. But then I also remember I was upset all the time. I was angry. I remember being outside and racing in the street with the boys, with the fellas. It wasn't because I wanted to sleep with the guys. it was because that was the only way to camouflage the trauma that I had endured at that time. I remember as I got older, and if anybody has read my first book, you guys know I don't mind telling my story. When I got older, I started getting into boys, and all it took was for that one person to remind me of what was said to me at a young age. I love you. It was like a button. If I love you came, oh, okay, well that means now I have to do some type of sexual pleasure. So that's what it became. Okay, you say you love me. Okay, I'm gonna give you this. Okay, you say you love me. Okay, let me do this. And then that trauma turned into, now I need reassurance that somebody cares for me. So it didn't matter if it was true or not. As long as I heard it, you could have whatever you wanted from me. You could manipulate me however you wanted to. It comes with all of these things. Trauma just doesn't stay at one level. There's multiple levels to trauma. But then when people don't know you, when people have not paid attention to you, when people have not taken the time to really hear the cries for help that you give, they put it under a trait. She just fast. She like being around all them boys. Why she gonna end up pregnant? Watch what I tell you. Not knowing I need help because I don't know how to handle this particular trauma. What about if you have experienced all your life abuse? You can't, it's easy for people on the outside looking in to say, I don't know why they won't just leave. Have you ever tried to leave abuse? Have you ever seen anybody leave abuse? We see all the time now on social media. We saw the one lady, her estranged husband killed her, strangled her to death, and then killed himself on social media, all because of an argument. But it was multiple other signs of that. But if that's all you know, if all you see is abuse, auntie had abuse, grandma had abuse, mama had abuse, cousin had abuse, if this had abuse, guess what? Abuse looks normal. Oh, girl, he don't love you if he ain't going upside your head. And we be laughing. Oh, girl, I know that's right. But then you know what happens after that? Well, what if you don't get it? What happens after that? What if the next thing you see is nothing? These traumas, there is so much that goes into it. Trauma doesn't always start out so broad. Trauma starts small. And then it builds from there to where now it's like you're in a trapped box. There's no door. It's the opening is too high to where you can't climb out. There's no way to climb under. And sometimes all you're able to do is fall to your knees. Do you know how many times in my abusive relationships that, looking back now, I saw the door that God had provided for me to get out, but I still did not know how to get out. I was too afraid to get out. I was too afraid to ask for help. I was too afraid to put people in my business. I was too afraid of the embarrassment it would cause. Man, this is marriage number 2. Like, let me just stay in it. Maybe it'll get better. If it ain't got better in 6 years, sis, it probably not gonna get better in year 7 or year 10. You might be dead by year 10. But then what do we do? How do we function after that? Hey, Sonny, thank you for joining. How do we function when dealing with trauma? What do we do when our trauma is mistaken for traits? It took me years to get to this point. And not saying all of my trauma is gone, but I am reminded of my trauma, and it allows me to help other people to get out of it. Sometimes we don't know how to get out of trauma. Sometimes we don't even know that there is trauma because we're so busy trying to mask the trauma. We're so busy trying to pretty it up and put a wig on it and put makeup on and smile and go out, knowing that when we get home, when we take all of the makeup off, when we take all of the clothes off, when we take the girdle off, when we take the lashes off, when we take the contacts out, when we're just sitting by ourselves, we're noticing trauma is sitting right there with us. So tonight, I really wanted to talk on that. And I guess this is a great time to reintroduce myself, because it took y'all. Let me tell you, God, again, I don't believe in coincidences. So I have been doing this. I have been speaking and coaching since 2019. And when you don't know your true purpose, it is hard to really reach your audience because they don't know where they fall in. Shoot, you don't even know where you fall in. And so it took my now me to realize, Dr. Felicia, you are a trauma coach. I had somebody ask me, what do you talk about when you speak to women? I had to sit back. I took a deep breath and I said, wow, that's a great question. And I was like, well, sometimes I talk about, the things I've been through. I've been molested. I've been abused. I've been abandoned. I've been, homeless. I've been all of these different things. And I talk about me going through these things and how I came out, how I'm still coming out, how I don't look like what I've been through, how I have all of these different ways to help you be a better woman, how you come out of your trauma. And I kept using the word trauma. I was going back through my notes, y'all, from years ago, and trauma was everywhere on all of my notes, like different messages, trauma. And the person said, Dr. Felicia, you are a trauma coach. Your audience is women who have dealt with trauma, who don't even know that they've had trauma. If you've ever been to a hospital and the ambulance is coming in, they're rushing in, and they have somebody on the stretcher, and they're saying, what happened? Oh, usually it's a trauma center or trauma ward or trauma floor. If you've ever seen a show and somebody has gone through trauma, the first thing when they come to, they don't even realize they've been through trauma. What happened to me? Where am I? Trauma hits you so hard that sometimes you don't even realize that you have experienced trauma or you're going through trauma. Sometimes you just have all this stuff build up, and then it explodes and you don't even know what's going on. You don't even know how you got to this point. You don't even know what you're supposed to do next. And so sitting here knowing that this topic was, I was like, Lord, what am I talking about today? I don't even know what I'm talking about today. Let me, and I was sitting at work early and I was like, man, I don't even know what brought up. I was literally in a linen closet and I don't know what I said. I need to talk about trauma. And excuse me, I was like, people don't even know they have trauma. No, because they think it's normal. They think it's who they are. That's just how she is. It's not how she is. Why is she like that? And so at this point in my life, I know that trauma is what almost took me out. But trauma is what God is going to use through me to save someone else's life. So I just wanted to get on. I wanted to talk about this. I want us, and I say us because I'm no exemption from this. I want us to really dig deep and see the things that I do, the behaviors that I have. Is this really a trait, or is this a trauma that I have been hiding in the back of my closet for all of these years and I have not addressed it? Is this a trauma that I've put a lampshade on and tried to bring light to it and pretty it up, instead of taking off the lampshade and taking out the bulb and really just examining what this is. How do I break this down? How do I get rid of this? Sometimes trauma don't go away. Sometimes you learn to deal with it, and it allows you to grow and evolve. I used to be embarrassed about the traumas that I've been through. What are people going to say? What are people going to think? But then I got to a place where I said, God, I thank you for my traumas. Because had I not gone through them, I wouldn't be able to sit here and have this conversation at 8 p.m. on July 8th, 2025. I would not be able to move. That's right. That's right, Sonny. Thinking trauma is normal. We think it's just a normal everyday thing. We put it on like it's a sweater going to work. Oh, I'm cold today. Let me put this trauma on. Ooh, what color trauma I'm gonna wear today? You know, I look good in yellow. I'm gonna wear yellow trauma today. Tomorrow I'm gonna wear red trauma. You know what? I might wear blue trauma next week. I like blue. Blue is my favorite color. We got a favorite trauma we like to put on, and then we make excuses. Sonny, I got me riled up again, girl. Then we start making excuses. I'm like this because I had went this, and then we start letting trauma control our behaviors. Then trauma will get to a place where we try to get sympathy from the trauma. Instead of looking for healing from the trauma, we looking for sympathy. We looking for people to say, oh yeah, I understand. Oh girl, come on and talk about your trauma. Sometimes talking about the trauma, we are not always healing. Sometimes we're not looking for healing. We're just looking for people to validate us staying in the trauma. Oh, child, if I stay in this trauma, it's going to get me more stages to talk on. It's going to get me, it's going to open doors for me. Oh, girl, no, at some point, you have to start healing from it. At some point, you have to start taking away the power from the trauma, or we'll never be able to evolve. We'll still be in the same place. You steady talking about trauma, but you're still stuck in the same place. When you start healing from trauma, you see yourself building. You see yourself taking off all of these layers. You see yourself really becoming a different person. You see yourself being able to walk more confident. You see yourself being able to talk about it without crying all the time. It used to be a time where I couldn't even face the person who had did these things to me. And now I can be in the same room and not care at all, not twice about it, not be mad about it, not be nothing about it. At what point do we stop making excuses for trauma? If you look at the first three letters of trait and trauma, they all start the same, but they have a different ending. So what are we going to do at this point? If we have trauma, how are we going to move forward? And I'm not here to sell you a coaching plan. But if you do need help, reach out to me. I've been through it. Sometimes I have to ask God, can I stop identifying with everybody's trauma? Oh, girl, I went through this. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to put my hand up again and say I went through that too. Oh, I remember when this happened. Oh, yep, I did that too. I'm like, okay, I know this next one I'm not going to be able to. God dog it. I can identify with that one too. Yes, I went through that too. But God is saying, I need you to be able to identify with all these things because somebody needs help. So I really want us to examine ourselves. Everything that we call a trait, is it a trait or is it trauma that we've dolled up? I hope y'all have enjoyed this episode of The Naked Truth. I am so honored and grateful to be the forerunner in this. I was supposed to start next week with guests. We're going to see how God leads. Sometimes we want to do stuff, but he's saying, nope, I want you to do exactly what I tell you to do. But I'm so grateful that y'all were able to tune in. I hope everybody got something out of this. Next week, we're going to be back again every Tuesday at 7:30 Central. Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, hopefully to get another platform. But we need to spread the word. And this is beyond me. It is about healing. It is about thank you, Mom. It is about us going, it's about us coming together. And here's the thing. This podcast is no judgment, because just as much as someone is going through one thing, someone else is going through another. Thank you, darling. You have an amazing night as well. So I love y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you all next week, Tuesday, 7:30 Central. Love y'all. Have a great night.